Number SCP-2358. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Due to their self-censoring nature and current limitations on moving them, SCP-2358 instances are to remain at their current locations. Mobile Task Force Epsilon-7, the Forget-Me-Nots, is to continuously monitor and disrupt civilian development of mnestics. Description: SCP-2358 is an anti-magnetic phenomena occurring in large population centers. The three known instances of SCP-2358 exist in Yao Sim Mong District, Hong Kong, Times Square, New York, and Shibuya District, Tokyo. SCP-2358 instances are similar in appearance to blue translucent trees. SCP-2358 instances are effectively intangible and cannot be perceived by individuals not under the influence of Class W or stronger mnestics. This inability to be perceived also extends to photographs and digital recordings of SCP-2358. Once a human being perceives SCP-2358, they will be subject to a series of mental effects. These effects can take place in 4 stages. The time required for all 4 stages to occur can range from 13 to 120 hours. Initial exposure. Stage 1. Subject displays an increase in interest in SCP-2358 and may find it difficult to concentrate on subjects and tasks not related to SCP-2358. Stage 2. Subject claims to experience hallucinations of SCP-2358 like plant growth on nearby surfaces. During this time, subjects will attempt to increase awareness of or expose other humans to SCP-2358, often expressing mild irritation when this action is rendered impossible by the anti-magnetic perception filter. Stage 3. Subjects lose visual perception, claiming that the hallucinated growth is continually obstructing their view. Subjects may experience seizures during this stage. Stage 4. Subject enters a catatonic state and demonstrates heightened levels of neurological activity. Amnestic treatment has proven effective in slowing symptoms, but yet to halt or reverse them. Acquisition. SCP-2358 was first discovered during an experimental project by the Foundation Department of Anti-Memetics, designed to utilize chemical mnestics in an attempt to locate and secure anomalies which otherwise resisted perception. The first SCP-2358 instance was located in New York during an experimental sweep of the area. Addendum. 2 notes have been discovered attached to each SCP-2358 instance. Content is identical between instances, and all notes seem to be affected by the same anti-memetic phenomena. The notes have been replicated here. All redaction present also existed in the original documents. Okay guys, the first note is basically recapping the same thing we saw. All it's saying is just to put it in high traffic areas to stop its rapid growth, even though it doesn't affect people unless you have Class W mnestics. Although its acquisition is different, it says that it first manifested in Site-13 Memetics Department, Wing 9 on blank date 19-something. Its source, however, is unknown. Note 2 is a letter starting with, "Hello to whoever is reading this. Since the cognitohazard didn't activate and you are still able to read this, you either work for the Foundation or someone who is just as well equipped to carry out containment. If you're reading this, the original version of this document, relay it to your superiors as soon as possible and get some Class A amnestics in your system. The fact you've seen the tree in person means that you're going to die soon anyway, but the amnestics should be able to buy you a few extra hours. Since you should be advanced enough to handle it, we can give you what information we have. The trees are, as close as we can figure out, a living version of information. The information is drawn in through the eye, where it is transferred to the brain. Let it reach the brain, and it has a new place to grow. Cut it off too soon, and don't let it reach the eyes, the tree starts to get bigger. This is where the Marriott-Pasler filter comes in. The filter attaches itself to a certain idea, in this case the trees. That information can still be absorbed by the senses, but the filter forces it to be automatically discarded as unneeded data before it has a chance to take root in the brain. Unfortunately, the filter can only handle so much information. That's why it's important that the trees stay in crowded areas so they stay small. How it all works is much more complicated, but that's the overview. Feel free to have whatever expert on memetics or anti-memetics you like look this over. They should be able to confirm that the information presented correlates with the anomaly, and that the containment procedures are appropriate. This is our containment procedure. This is what we had to do. Odds are that trust doesn't have a big role in your line of work, but we need to ask you to trust us this once. For your safety and ours, don't move the trees. We know what we're doing. Godspeed, Melinda Williams, SCP Foundation Counter-Conceptual Division. Below this note is the documentation. No records of Melinda Williams or a counter-conceptual division of the Foundation are known to exist. No SCP object with a 4-number identifier, which matched the description provided in the document, existed in the Foundation database prior to the creation of document of SCP-2358. Due to the authenticity confirmation codes embedded in the documents and by majority vote of the O5 Council, SCP-2358's containment procedures are to take the documents into account until further information comes to light. This is a very interesting SCP in my opinion, because of the special containment procedures required for it, and the fact that you can't really contain it without exposing it to people. And, well, yeah, it's just got a lot of backdraws and reasons for why it's in such public areas and so unstable, and how it even got the Foundation itself, or what seems like part of the Foundation, asking for you to trust them. Which I think is actually very funny, because, you know, that Foundation, they execute people every month. Class D experiment, you know, why would you trust them? But anyways, I've had enough of my say. I think tomorrow I'll be doing SCP 2020 if possible. But until then, see ya.